I'm a pro, cause I'm Adam Timmo.
Rogue One! Yes! Finally! Okay, so Rogue One is the official first Star Wars spin-off. It's set between Revenge of the Sith, which I don't count as canon, and the original Star Wars. So, how is it? Sorry, almost forgot. This video is completely spoiler-free, so nothing to worry about. So how is it? By the way, this movie's also directed by Gareth Edwards, who did Monsters, which I loved, and Godzilla, which I also basically love. Okay, but how is it? Oh, and I'd just like to say that I'd like to wish all you guys, Merry Christmas. No one cares! Just talk about it! This movie is freaking awesome! Actors, they all do a really good job, especially Felicity Jones in the lead role, but Diego Luna also does a really good job as a more reserved kind of person, but there's one scene where he really shows who he is, and he's just such an interesting character throughout. So, I love Felicity Jones, I love Diego Luna, I love Donnie Yen and his character. He was a really interesting one because he kind of has knowledge of the Force, but he's not like a full-on Force learner or anything. And his friend, who's played by Jiang Wen, is also really good in the movie. And then Alan Tudyk's robot, K2SO, is like the standout of the movie. He's absolutely freaking hilarious. I laughed like every time he did literally anything. He is the best. Then there's Forrest Whitaker, whose character you could argue is only in there so they could have somebody from the Clone Wars. But still, he does a really good job of what he has to work with. Then there's Ben Mendelsohn as Director Krennic, who's the main villain of the movie. He's a very interesting kind of villain and a very harsh one. Like, when he wants to do something bad, he can really do something bad. He's such a tough villain. He's a difficult one to defeat, and he's a really interesting one overall, so I really loved him in the movie as well. And there's Darth Vader, who I feel like a lot of people will be disappointed because he's not really in it that much. Maybe like 5 minutes, which sounds like a really small amount. But Gareth Edwards said in an interview, not how long of screen time he has in it, but he said that they got the character the way he was before, the way people love him, that sort of stuff. And when he's actually on screen, when he's actually doing his scenes, he has about 2, I'd say, when he's doing those 2 scenes. It is epic filmmaking. It is why we love Star Wars, why we love movies in general. Just because he doesn't have that much screen time doesn't mean that every second he is on screen, it is incredible. I'm serious. Darth Vader is not in it that much, but it satisfied me just because of how good those scenes were. Also, Gareth Edwards does a really good job directing this movie. Like, for one, he knows how to do scale incredibly. Like, when you see all of these worlds and stuff, you feel the size. That's also to do with the CGI. The CGI in this movie is about as good as it can get in this day and age. It doesn't feel like CGI. It feels seamless with the practical sets and costumes that they have as well. Seriously, I sometimes couldn't tell if it was CGI. It's literally that good. And those scenic shots feel huge. Because one thing with the prequels was they were like going for a huge size, but the CGI, it just always made it feel smaller to me. The CGI never stood out to me. It never felt real. It felt like a cartoonified version of it, like an episode of the Clone Wars. But here they actually do that properly. That's even something that The Force Awakens didn't do as good as it could have. I didn't feel the scale as well. It's also partially because there are scenes in Rogue One where you just see them in these small ships and all, and they focus on that too. Gareth Edwards cares about these smaller scenes too. He doesn't just care about all the big action stuff. No, he cares about these small scenes as well. And that is why the direction in this movie is so freaking incredible. When I first saw this movie, I was thinking, okay, maybe the reshoots are kind of showing. Well, at the beginning anyway. Because I was like, it's kind of weird how it's just going in that direction. But then I started thinking, but wait, that's not why it's weird. It's because it's a different direction. They're going in a different way from the Star Wars movies before, which makes sense because this is a more standalone movie. So in the end, I think that's actually a positive, because the reshoots, I'm not sure if it's exactly the reshoots, but the reshoots feel like they distinguish it more from the main Star Wars legacy. They're making it its own movie. That's what was with the marketing as well, that it has stuff in there that's from the Star Wars we all know and love. but at the same time, it takes it all in a new direction to be its own kind of movie. And for that reason, I really did love that. I love the way they paced it out differently from before. How it still has some similar styles, like with going slow at first, then building up to a really big finale, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, I really love the way they did that. So I feel like that is a positive and not a negative. Not entirely sure if it's to do with the reshoots, but I feel like the reshoots definitely don't bring this movie down in any way. I also love the script because it knows when to have funny dialogue at some points and when to be a very fun way, but then it also knows when to have those quieter, darker moments, those that don't have the humor in there. Those work really well as such. The emotion in this movie feels more natural than it did in, let's say, The Force Awakens, because in The Force Awakens it felt a bit glossed over a lot of the time, but here it feels like it sticks with you. However long it is, it's stuck with me, okay? I cared about those scenes more so than I did in something like The Force Awakens. They worked better because of that script, how that script knows how to balance these two different tones so well, something that the prequels had no idea how to do at all. And then there's something to do with the characters. Like, Chris Stuckman, in his review, he was a bit disappointed by the movie. He said the biggest reason for that was because the characters just didn't work for him. There wasn't enough development given to him, that sort of stuff. But if you honestly think about it, like, the original Star Wars movie, it didn't hugely develop its characters. We loved them because it gave them traits that we can recognize, some subtle hints to things that we were interested by, and it showed off their personality. That's what I feel this movie does so well with its characters. I felt their personality. I cared about what they were doing. I understood their motivations. And they did give some backstory, though not like thrown into your face like they did earlier this year with Suicide Squad. That sucked. But here, they give it to you in a more subtle way, which I love about Garrett Edwards. He's a man about subtlety. And it doesn't work for everybody, I know that. But for me, the subtle hints they gave to all of this, and especially what they did with Jyn Erso, and also with Diego Luna's character, Cassian Andor, I think they in particular were really well-rounded, and the other characters were done quite well, too. So, I really did love the characters in this movie. And I feel sorry for Chris Stuckman that he didn't, but in my opinion, for those reasons, they were actually done really well. Michael Giacchino, he deserves a lot of respect for the score he gives to this movie. It feels like a Star Wars score. It's really well done. I love the way he composed it. It feels like John Williams hasn't left, but at the same time, we're still getting new scores introduced, and if John Williams were to step down at some point, I hope that they get Michael Giacchino to do the new Star Wars scores, because he does them incredibly. I just have to talk about this final act. It is incredible filmmaking, like some of the best ever put. I am not exaggerating by this. That final act, it has the huge battles, the character moments, it has the conflict in there, the feel of war. It feels like something like Saving Private Ryan at times, and then other times like an actual Star Wars movie. I love the combination. I love the moments in there. I love the dialogue. I love the banter. I loved the drama. I loved everything in that final act. That final act is perfect. It is absolutely, without a doubt, some of the best stuff in Star Wars history. Battle-wise, character-wise, just full-on film-wise. I love that. That final act deserves all the credit in the galaxy. So, in the end, I loved Rogue One. It's one of those movies that gets better the more I think about it. And I'm gonna see it again eventually, and when I do, I'll give up a spoiler video to talk about more stuff in more detail, that sort of stuff. And I'll see if it's gotten even better than how I'm portraying it now. I don't see that happening though, because I do think it's an amazing movie. I don't know if everybody else will think the same, but in my opinion it is. I loved it. Definitely check it out if you haven't already, which it's pretty early so you probably haven't, but please do check it out. I do think it's worth your time and money. So go out to the cinema, not online, go out to the cinema as quickly as you can, with a proper screening. I saw it in IMAX 3D, which was incredible. So just go out, watch it, If you have a channel, review it if you want. Whatever you want. But I loved it, so please watch it.
Yeah.
So that's all for this video. Bye.